Have you ever noticed that as people get older, they tend to visit friends and family less often? Maybe it's someone in your own life, a parent, a grandparent, or even yourself. It might feel a little confusing or even hurtful at first, like, why don't they want to hang out as much anymore? But here's the thing. It's not about becoming distant or shutting people out. As we age, our priorities shift, and so does our energy. The way we think about relationships changes. It's less about how many people we see and more about how meaningful those connections truly are. The energy it takes to maintain lots of social visits just isn't the same anymore. And honestly, that's okay. So today, I want to share 8 real reasons why older adults often slow down on visiting others. These reasons don't come from a place of indifference or loneliness, but from wisdom and self-care. Understanding these can help us see things from their perspective and maybe even appreciate their choices a little more. Think about it. When was the last time you felt worn out just by socializing? Maybe after a long day, you prefer the comfort of home and close friends rather than a big gathering. Now imagine carrying that feeling around every day and deciding where to spend your limited time and energy. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through these reasons. Some might surprise you, others will feel very familiar. But all of them remind us that relationships aren't about quantity, but quality, and that sometimes stepping back is the healthiest and most loving thing we can do for ourselves and for those around us. So stick around and let's dive into this together. Have you ever noticed how as people get older, they tend to spend less time on social visits and catching up with everyone? It's not because they suddenly become distant or uninterested. Far from it. The truth is, energy is a limited resource, especially as we age. Unlike when we were younger and had seemingly endless stamina to attend every party, every gathering, older adults learn to be more selective with their time and energy. Imagine your day as a jar, and every social interaction takes a little scoop out of it. When you're young, that jar is overflowing and you can afford to pour it out generously. But as the jar slowly empties, you naturally become more careful about where you spend your energy. That's why many older people focus on nurturing relationships that truly bring them joy and warmth, the kind of connections that make them feel comfortable and fulfilled, rather than simply going through the motions of formal social visits. It's about quality over quantity. Instead of spreading themselves thin trying to keep up with dozens of acquaintances, they invest their energy where it counts the most: close friends, family members, and meaningful companions. This shift not only preserves their well-being, but also deepens the bonds that matter. So next time you notice a loved one isn't as social as before, try to understand it from this perspective. They are not shutting people out. They are protecting their limited energy and choosing happiness on their own terms. And honestly, isn't that something we can all learn from? Have you ever noticed that as people grow older, they tend to step away from arguments or stressful encounters? This isn't because they become indifferent or careless, but because they truly understand the value of peace in life. When we're younger, it's easy to get caught up in disagreements, gossip, or tense situations. But after many years, older adults learn to choose wisely, to stay away from unnecessary negativity, not just to protect their physical health, but more importantly, to keep their minds peaceful and calm. Have you ever thought about how peace of mind can be more valuable than endless debates or unresolved conflicts? That's why older people often reduce how often they meet with others, especially those who bring negative energy. They're not withdrawing out of apathy. They're focusing their time and energy on relationships that truly bring joy and warmth. In fact, avoiding unnecessary stress helps maintain better mental health and reduces prolonged stress. This is a valuable lesson for all of us, regardless of age. Knowing how to protect the peace inside is the foundation for a happy, lasting life. So what if starting today, we also learn to carefully choose the relationships and situations in our lives to preserve our inner peace? Sometimes, a small change like this can make a big difference in our life journey. Have you ever wondered why, as people grow older, they tend to spend more time at home instead of going out to noisy events or busy places? The answer is simple yet profound. Home offers comfort, peace, and a sense of safety that they deeply crave. As we age, moving to crowded, loud environments becomes less appealing. It's not just physical tiredness. It's also the discomfort of facing unfamiliar, chaotic places. Think about it. When you're tired, a quiet room filled with familiar things helps you recharge so much faster. The familiar space at home allows older adults the freedom to do what they love without worrying about judgment or pressure to fit in. It's where they truly feel themselves, able to relax and find peace in their hearts. Home also holds precious memories and is a place to connect with family or simply enjoy a cup of tea or a good book. These moments help them appreciate life's value in a more meaningful way. Do you find yourself craving that peaceful space sometimes? Maybe learning to cherish and create a calm environment isn't just for older adults. It's something all of us, no matter our age, can do to nurture our mental well-being. Have you ever noticed that as we get older, the number of friends around us tends to shrink? But what's fascinating is that at this point, we truly understand the real value of close relationships. Older adults realize that it's not about how many friends you have, but the quality of those connections. Instead of trying to maintain shallow social encounters, they focus their time on people who truly understand and appreciate them. These friends don't need daily meetings, but when they reunite, the bond remains deep, as if no time has passed at all. This is the lasting relationship everyone desires. Have you ever thought about how many people in your life make you feel safe and fully accepted? As we age, we cherish those values more because we know life is too short to waste on fake or forced relationships. In fact, research shows that quality relationships have a positive impact on both mental and physical health in older adults. A warm conversation with someone who truly understands you can reduce stress, boost spirits, and even extend life expectancy. So, instead of trying to grow a large social network, many older people choose to be more selective, dedicating their time and energy to the most meaningful relationships. This is an important lesson for all of us. Learn to appreciate and nurture the connections that truly bring joy and purpose to life. Have you ever wondered what truly matters most as we grow older? In the past, we might have felt the need to stay busy, attending event after event, keeping a packed schedule. But as age advances, many begin to reflect deeply on what truly gives life meaning. Older adults often shift their priorities. They no longer chase the endless hustle of life. Instead, they seek peace and happiness from within. This is the time they spend more on forgotten hobbies, maybe reading, gardening, listening to music, or simply relaxing with a warm cup of tea. Have you noticed that constant busyness doesn't always bring happiness? Sometimes it's the quiet moments, the time we take for ourselves, that become the most precious source of energy. Older people understand that it's not always about going out, but about living fully with what they love. This is a wonderful lesson for all of us. Learning to listen to ourselves and cherish inner peace. Because only when the soul is calm can we truly be happy and satisfied with life. So have you ever stopped to ask yourself what truly matters most to you? Is it endless busyness or peaceful, joyful moments inside your heart? There's a special truth about genuine friendship that many older adults realize over time. Distance and time apart don't weaken true bonds. Have you ever wondered why some friends you haven't seen in ages still feel like no time has passed when you reunite? As we get older, life often pulls us in different directions, and meeting up regularly isn't always easy. But that doesn't mean the friendship fades. In fact, real relationships are built on understanding, respect, and deep care. Things that can't be measured by how often you meet. Many older adults say they don't need to see their friends every week, month, or even year to keep the connection alive. A call, a message, or a heartfelt check-in is often enough. Think about childhood friends you haven't seen in years, but still hold dear. That's the power of lasting friendship. This also makes us reflect on how we maintain relationships in today's busy world. Are we putting too much pressure on constant communication and meetings and forgetting the deeper value of genuine connection? True friendship isn't measured by the number of meetings, but by understanding and sincere affection. When you appreciate this, even rare encounters become precious and unforgettable moments. As we grow older, our health and mobility often aren't what they used to be. Have you noticed that many older adults around you tend to go out less or join social activities less often than when they were younger? It's not just about being lazy or withdrawn, but a real reality. Their health puts clear limits on what they can do. Many seniors face joint pain, chronic fatigue, or illnesses like diabetes and high blood pressure. These conditions make moving around difficult sometimes even burdensome. Every time they decide to leave the house, they carefully consider not only the physical effort, but also the possible impact on their overall health. Imagine how attending social gatherings or traveling long distances might quickly drain their energy, leading to prolonged pain or exhaustion. So cutting down on visits isn't about neglect or lack of care. It's their way of protecting themselves and maintaining a better quality of life. This also raises a question for us. How can we stay connected and show love to our older loved ones without making them feel pressured or worn out? Maybe gentle phone calls, thoughtful texts, or brief but meaningful visits are better ways. Understanding and empathizing with seniors' health limits helps us appreciate them more and build lasting relationships while respecting their comfort and safety. As we grow older, many of us begin to see time differently and use it in new ways. Instead of spending most of our time at social gatherings like when we were younger, we start to prioritize ourselves, our families, and personal hobbies that may have been neglected before. Have you ever wondered why older adults often appear less at social events or meetups than they used to? The answer isn't simply that they want to isolate themselves. Rather, they are seeking balance. They need private space to rest, relax, and live in ways that truly suit them, without the pressure of social engagements that can sometimes feel superficial. This personal space is essential. It helps them recharge, find peace and happiness in simple things like reading a book, tending to plants, or simply watching the sunset. These precious moments deepen their connection to themselves and their loved ones. So cutting back on visits is not a sign of isolation or rejection of society, but a way to maintain balance between social needs and personal needs. This reminds us that everyone needs their own space to grow, to renew energy, and to live fully in their own way. What do you think? Do we, in today's fast-paced world, truly respect and understand the privacy needs of older adults? Or perhaps we ourselves should learn to give ourselves these moments. Moments to listen to our inner selves and live authentically. When we observe older adults reducing the frequency of their visits and social gatherings, it's clear this isn't an unreasonable withdrawal or a sign of distancing. Rather, it is a natural and reasonable choice. Their health changes, their mindset shifts, and their personal priorities evolve, all shaping a new way of living that fits this stage of life. This is why they maintain a balanced distance in social relationships, not out of indifference or coldness, but because they know how to preserve peace and joy within themselves. The most important thing is respect and understanding of this choice. Everyone has the right to maintain and build social connections in their own way, to keep balance, tranquility, and meaning in life. There's much we can learn from this attitude, recognizing that every phase of life has its own way of loving, connecting, and living fully. So what about you? Are you ready to understand and honor each person's unique journey so together we can create deeper, more meaningful relationships? And if these thoughts resonate with you, take a moment to reflect on how you build connections in your life. Listen to your heart, cherish the genuine bonds, and allow yourself the peace that comes from your own unique way of living. Life isn't a race to collect numbers, but a journey to find true value and joy in every moment, every relationship. If you found this video meaningful, feel free to share it with your loved ones so we can spread these simple yet precious values together. And don't forget to hit subscribe to keep walking alongside inspiring stories that help make every day more meaningful. Thank you for staying with me until the very end, and I wish you peace and happiness on your own personal journey.